Take your position. The show is about to start.
Ladies and gentlemen,
welcome to On Screen, where we discuss all things cinema all the time. Here's your hosts.
the award goes to
Joe Brunett, Joe Cuffney, and Jesse Reichenstein. Lights, camera, action.
Cool. Well, this week we are talking about the new Halloween Kills.
My grandmother was right. The boogeyman was real.
It's over.
We can't hurt anyone ever again.
No one told you.
Told me what?
Somebody in there?
Michael Myers is alive.
Stop! You had a knife in your stomach.
You and Allison should not have to keep running. Evil dies tonight.
I'm not just gonna sit and watch another innocent person die.
If you track Michael's victims, it's a straight line to Michael's childhood home.
what do we do?
We fight.
Let's hunt him down.
Michael Myers is flesh and blood. But a man couldn't have survived that fire. The more he kills, the more he transcends.
Run! Go now!
He's the essence of evil.
Do it! Do it! You want your mask? Come and get it!
I'm coming for you, Michael.
I'm excited to talk about this one because I have a lot of feelings. I have a lot of mixed feelings. I have a lot of opinions. And
Me too. Wait, hold up.
I really want to hear what you guys think because
Hold up.
I have a
Wait,
feeling
wait,
I know what you're going to think, what we're going to say, but I want to hear it.
Wait, I think I might have watched the wrong Halloween.
This is bound to happen at some point.
How?
Which one
I
did
watched
you
the
watch?
original.
I'm about that. I love the original.
Oh my god. I wanted to watch this one, but I was gonna watch it this week. I feel like this is gonna be spoilers.
What? I'm so happy that this happened. Actually,
Okay,
not.
yeah, this was bound to happen, but
You watched the original Halloween?
yeah.
I'm not mad at you for that. I'm happy about that.
No, like I mean,
I'm pissed. What do you?
we it's funny because we literally were talking about wanting to watch Halloween Kills. We're like, oh, we'll watch like a bunch of the Halloweens, but I was like, oh, but I gotta watch Halloween for this week. So let's start with the old one and we'll move to the new one.
Well, that's a good option because technically the first one is in the universe is this one. So you're not wrong, but okay. So how should we go about this?
I don't
Joe,
know.
do you want to just mute?
I was gonna say like I don't want spoilers, but well, I will say this. I will say I was at a hydroponics store getting a cork for some wine I'm making.
Whoa.
And
That sounds
It's a very Joe thing to be at a hydroponics store.
and I was talking to the guy at checkout, and him and one of the other people that worked there were talking about Halloween Kills.
So you
And,
can base your review off of them.
well, all I got out of him was Like they were like, it wasn't thumbs up, wasn't thumbs down, it was like thumbs in the middle. And I was like, interesting. Okay. So like I was excited to like see when D and I actually watched it, what we thought. But anyway, that's everything I know about Halloween Kills at this point.
I will say that is a good description of it.
Really? Okay.
I would say instead of this, I would probably go this.
Slightly closer to a thumbs up than a
Yeah.
Okay.
Slightly more of the sideways thumbs up, thumbs middle.
Very
thumbs up.
interesting.
What?
That's your. I didn't think that would be your reaction.
Really?
Well, I want to get. What are we doing?
Joe, okay, here's the question, Joe. How much do you care about spoilers? If you care, you can just me and Jesse can just do this.
Yeah, I think I might need to drop because I do actually like. I feel like with a movie like this, like if the ending, if I know the ending, it's not going to be as much fun when I watch it. So
also, okay, you're right. Also, have you watched 2018? We watched it together, but have you watched it since we saw it?
Last year we watched.
Okay, you just watched the original, watched 2018, and this is the sequel to 2018. So Halloween original, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills. That's how
that's like the trilogy.
And it takes place like the same night as 2018. So
and this is all because it's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Correct. Right. That's like her time. There's like 4 different timelines within the Halloween franchise. This is one of them.
Gotcha. Got
it. Okay. All right, Jesse, let's talk about this movie.
Like you don't remember Joe being like, it's in the theaters. You can go see it in theaters. So
well, I was gonna do that anyway, so I think I just like.
Should we wait or like?
I don't know. I mean, I could go watch it like right now.
I can't believe this happened.
This was literally gonna happen.
Okay, I would say I would give you slack because the original Halloween or the new 2018 is literally called Halloween, the same as the original, but this one has a different title.
Halloween Kills. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I messed that up. I literally went back. I think we just said it out loud, and so I just heard Halloween, and it wasn't written down. So
I am happy that you watched the original, but
because like I literally texted you. I was like, hey, what's the Goosebumps episode? Because I forgot, but I was like, I got Halloween though. I know.
God, nailed that one.
Oh, okay. How about this? Me and Jesse will review it, and then the next episode that we record, you can you do a little mini review. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I got two movies for this coming. I was gonna watch this one before Halloween anyway. Though. Okay,
I love this. It's hilarious. Sleeping picking the wrong movie.
Is it your pick next coming up too?
It's Joe's pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe I'll pick the original Halloween.
I am not opposed to that.
No, guys, we're out of October. We're not watching any of this for a solid year.
Never.
All right. Well, I guess I'll drop then, and I'll be ready to talk about Halloween Kills next week.
All right, Joe is leaving us because he watched the wrong movie.
It was gonna happen at some point.
Well, go Niners.
Go Niners. Bills are on a bye, so hopefully they win tonight.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, we'll see you later. So yeah, this will be just me and Jesse doing this one.
Halloween
Kills. This is the sequel to Halloween 2018 as well as Halloween 1978. Another David Gordon Green flick.
I do love that idea of like there's an original movie and then there's these like different sequels, and like how 2018 they were like, well, we're basing off the original, but like we're gonna pretend these other ones didn't happen. Yeah, that's like a cool, to me, different paths.
And that's why I love the Halloween franchise. There's like 3 or 4 different timelines you can follow with these characters, and like then you have the remakes, the Rob Zombie, which is a whole nother, that's its own timeline essentially. But yeah, there's so many you can. It's kind of like choose your own adventure when you're watching these movies, which is so fun because there's because you watch the original Halloween, you can do this Laurie Strode timeline, or there's a different Laurie Strode timeline with Halloween 2 and then Halloween H2O, and then there's like the Jamie Lloyd. There's a whole thing. But this I really enjoyed 2018. I was a big fan of that one. And I know you said you liked it too, right?
Yeah, I was a big fan. Okay, so I'll get off my initial thoughts and going into this movie.
I want to hear yours and I'll tell you mine.
Yeah, I'm very curious to hear yours, but I want to give mine before. because I went 2018, we saw in the theaters,
Mhm.
was super fun. There's a lot of hype around it. You'd went to the convention and seen it early, I believe.
With the people who made the mask, and the makeup and everything. I got to sit next to them, and it was really cool. It was the best.
Yeah, so like even going into it, you were coming off of like this high of like,
Mhm.
so, and it was really fun. I liked, I don't like horror movies, and it was fun to be in the theater.
Yeah.
So going to this one, I was like, well, I liked the last one. Of course, I see, just because it's everywhere, it's like Rotten Tomatoes, it's like 30, but like audience, it's 70. And with horror, I never know what to take that as.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I like saw that, but I didn't really think about it, because I was like, yeah, it's for this genre, I have no clue. And then watching it, part of me was like, oh, I'm probably missing out a little on not seeing it in theater with Halloween fans.
Mhm.
Like that
Totally.
could definitely skewed a little. But my initial reaction at the end was like, oh, this feels like a movie that was made for Halloween fans and not for outsiders. Like,
Boom. That is the perfect way to describe this movie.
because as soon as it ended, I was like, I'm so confused, because it feels like if I was a huge fan of the series, there'd be a lot of like callbacks and like the flashbacks, like you mentioned, where I'd be like really into it. But as like an outsider to that world, or just not a huge Halloween fan, it just felt like kind of a mess of a movie in a way.
I couldn't agree more.
So that's why I was shocked when I started hearing you or like Joe mention like people were in the middle about it, and you were like, I don't know how to talk about it, because I thought other people were just gonna be like, oh, it's amazing, I loved it.
You were 100% right when you said this was made for Halloween fans, because this is literally made for Halloween fans. There's a ridiculous amount of callbacks and references, unneeded. I will say a lot of them were not. I don't want to say they were unneeded, but it was unnecessary. It just didn't help the story. It was literally for Halloween fans, essentially, which, again, I'm not mad about. Like, if you're a Halloween fan, if you like Michael Myers, if you like the franchise, this is just like a fun one. Like, it's made for people who like the franchise. Like, it's not gonna, the first one I feel like was a good way to kind of like, maybe bridge that, you liked it. So bridge people who kind of, they're not super familiar with the franchise, but they know kind of what the story is. It's like, that was a good way to kind of do that. This one was just like, okay, we had that movie. Now we just take everything from the original / the series, and we're just going to throw it in this one. And
like, there's a third coming, right? That's the Halloween Ends.
Yes. And I
like,
think
so this very much felt like a filler movie.
That's exactly what it was. And that was my problem with it. It's like, they knew they were going to have 3 movies from the very, very beginning. And this literally just feels like a filler movie. Like, there's really no purpose to this movie, just to give Michael Myers kills. Like, to be fair, Halloween Kills is a perfect name for it, because he kills a lot of people.
It's true.
I really think this is a movie for Michael. This is a Michael movie. Like, he's pissed off. He just wants to kill everybody. Like, if you like Michael Myers, this is your movie. Like, if you like kills, if you like Michael Myers, you watch this one. There's no really story. Like, you don't watch this for the story. Like, come on. But
they're barely like, I was so confused at so many points of like, so it starts off, and it kind of starts off like, I just kept being like, oh, it picks up right where the last movie ended. So right off the bat, I'm thinking like, because it's like 13 minutes until it gets into like the opening credits, really, there's that section. And I'm thinking, did I miss something? Like, wasn't it on, like, what is going on? Especially not like really understanding the original or like those flashbacks.
Sure.
But I'm like, I literally, I mean, unlike Joe, I at one point stopped to be like, did I click the right one? Like, is this the new one? Because I was like, I thought it picks up right where it leaves off. So there's like, it felt like that a lot. And then it did, pick up in the fire, and then how he escaped, which was, I'm glad. At first I thought they just were going to be like, he got out somehow. And I was going to be like, oh, come on. But there just felt like a lot of that where like an hour in or something, I like clicked to see how long we are in the movie, because I was like, I don't even know how long we should be in. Like, what has happened? What is still going to happen? Like, I'm so confused. And then, I mean, I'll wait to talk about the ending, but the ending also was like, wait, what? Like,
I think that's a great description of the movie. What
was this? Yeah. What was this?
I mean, we're gonna keep saying it. It was a Halloween fan movie. That it was So I did like structurally, it was a mess. There was things I had problems with.
It was all over
Overall,
the place.
it was all over the place.
Like the storyline and like the plot
Yeah.
was just like
It was all over the place. There was a lot of questionable things for sure. But like if I'm just like watching it as a Halloween movie, Michael Myers, I had fun with it. Like it was fun. Like the kills were great. Some of the kills were fun. But going back to kind of the beginning, well, so do you remember 2018? Like you kind of remember everything that happened.
Yeah,
So,
and then like with some flashbacks and like piecing
Mhm.
things together, I was like,
okay. So I will say one of my, if not my favorite aspect of this movie was the 70s flashback. I think that was done perfectly. It was so well, and it was all practical. Loomis was literally a person, and it was all makeup. And Michael Myers, they remade the mask, and they built the house, they built everything in a studio. It looks amazing. Like it looks fantastic for no CGI, and the music, everything is so well done to how the original was, like how Michael looks and everything.
Drop him! Drop him or I'll shoot! Michael! I'm warning you! God damn it!
Thomas Mann was great. I love the cast in the the opening. Weird, did not expect it, but it was still fun. He's fun.
when I saw Thomas Mann pop up, he's like, I don't know, he's one of my favorite actors, even though he's not been in that much.
Right.
But every time I see him, I go, oh my God, I love Thomas Mann. But what has he been in? And then I look it up and it's just like Me, Earl, the Dying Girl. It's kind of a funny story, which I did love when that came out. And I went through a point where I just like searched his name on Netflix and watched everything he was in. Like good actor, but I was like, and then I had to be like, was he in the 2018 one? Because like I don't remember that, so I had to like go search. Because that whole storyline I had to like piece together differently and after with the police.
Yeah, that was all added in
Hawkins.
2018.
Yeah.
Like in the original, Hawkins never existed. Like that, there was none of that. So that was all added, obviously for the story. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I love the 70s flashbacks were probably one of my favorite parts of it. And then the 2018 flashbacks didn't make any sense to me. Those should not have been in there. I don't know why. I will give David Gordon Green credit though, because he tries a lot of different things with his filmmaking. Like a lot of quick editing cuts, a lot of camera angles, a lot of different kind of techniques that he uses. And I like how he approaches filmmaking. Like it's very different. I feel like he's got his own style. Like you can tell if it's David Gordon Green movie. Like you can tell. I can tell at least. And I like that aspect. And it is fun within a Halloween movie. More so the 2018 had that David Gordon Green vibe more so than this one. But I still like it. Like, I don't know. It's fun. It's different. But yeah, I don't know. I think he got too crazy with the 2018 flashbacks. That was a little too much for me. Because I'm not a flashback person. I don't like flashbacks. But
and it's flashbacks to like that day. It just had happened.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Again, filler. It's all filler. This movie is filler, essentially. And something I'm really bummed about. Okay, well, let's talk about all the references. So we have Lindsay Wallace, played by Kyle Richards, who played Lindsay Wallace in the 1978 film. So she was back reprising her character. Then you have Charles Cyphers, who played Sheriff Brackett. What
one's Lindsay Wallace?
She's the girl, like Kyle Richards. She's the brunette. She's in Desperate Housewives.
The youngest.
Beverly Hills girl. Desperate Housewives, or something, not Desperate Housewives.
Real Housewives of
Real
Beverly
Housewives.
Hills.
Yeah, she's on that. But she was in the original film, and she's back for this one. And then the old sheriff guy, Brackett, I met him actually at the convention. He's really nice.
Ooh.
But he was the original cop in the first film when his daughter Annie gets killed. But I love him, but there was no reason for him to be in there. I mean, I think the only reason he was in there is because at the very end, when he says his line, everyone's entitled to one good scare, he says that in the original movie too. So I think there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that going on. And then you had Marion Chambers, the nurse, the older nurse. She was in the original as well. Same actress and everything. And then Tommy Doyle, different actor, of course, Anthony Michael Hall. I love Anthony Michael Hall. He was not good in this movie.
No,
he first of all, so Paul Rudd plays Tommy Doyle in Halloween 6. It's his first feature film, first movie.
Wow.
Fun fact. his Tommy Doyle is way more. It's way more representative of who I think Tommy Doyle should be. Like Anthony Michael Hall was like kind of like big and bulky and like
I was about to say, yeah,
that's not Tommy Doyle.
That's why it was so. When I put it together that he was Tommy, who was like the kid, I was like, he doesn't. The age doesn't feel right. He doesn't feel like the kid.
No.
He just feels like this like Bruce Willis like Armageddon. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I love the guy. Not a good character. I don't like how they went with this character. You should watch a couple scenes of the Paul Rudd just to see, because it's more like quiet, a little weird, like he's a little weird and creepier. I think that's how Tommy Doyle would be, more scarred.
I was only 8 years old when I saw him, but I was one of the lucky ones. I survived. Michael's work isn't done in Haddonfield, and soon, very soon, he'll come home to kill again. But this time I'll be ready.
And
yeah,
then
not like macho Navy SEAL.
And then Lonnie, he's not the original actor, but he's a popular actor though. I can't remember. Is it Mark Longstreet or something? I think that's his name. But I liked his character. Lonnie like bullies him as a kid. I think they brought that up a little bit. And Cameron's his son. There's a lot of connections. What I do appreciate the connections. But part of me loves Halloween because of the ambiguity.
Yeah, I was like, you got it close. I can't think of it, but you got it.
Ambiguity, like not knowing, is like what I love about the original. Like, there's no backstories. Kind of like this guy just stalking these people. It's amazing. It's great. But I do kind of like, bringing back these old characters and references and all that. But yeah, Tommy Doyle was weird. Didn't like that character really at all.
Yeah.
But I also, there wasn't enough Allison or Laurie in this movie. I love these movies. I really like Allison as a character. I think she's really good. But
Allison's Laurie's daughter.
Yeah, Laurie's granddaughter. Judy Greer's
the youngest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like her. Like I really like the girls, and they really weren't in it that much.
Mm-mm.
And they were all around the marketing posters. They were all on the marketing posters.
Yeah, and they were the ones like going to do press. Like on the late nights and everything. It was them.
I will say I liked Cameron's redemption a little bit. I mean, kind of a redemption because he sucks, obviously, but like he had a bit of a redemption for sure. I liked his kill though. His kill was really good
when he got killed.
Mm-hmm. That was one of my favorites.
There was some good. I did like in the middle that there was even some like slapstick. Cute, or is that the term for the kills? Where like I do love when she goes to the car. For some reason, when she like runs out and she's like, Michael's chilling in the back seat. And I was like, Michael Myers is just chilling in someone's back seat, just like, and then like that whole, all those kills around then with like through the guy's eye. And then didn't she like shoot herself? Cause he like hit the car door,
the gun in her finger. I love that. That's the thing. These Halloween movies are supposed to be ridiculous in the kills. And like that kill to me screams Halloween. Like it's just so Michael Myers to just do that.
Yeah, like that is, I'm like, that's what it should be.
Yeah.
It's
and I think I think it is like, it's not supposed to be funny, but like it's supposed to be like ridiculous. Like you're supposed to be like, what is going on? And that's what I love about the Halloween movies. Like it's brutal, but it's like kind of fun and like kind of ridiculous at the same time, like comical in a way. But speaking of that, like the whole in the back seat, because it was the other patient, right? The guy with the longer hair. It wasn't actually Michael Myers. Like that was actually the other patient that they ended up killing.
Oh, that was when he is. Oh, that makes way more sense.
Yeah, that was actually that guy.
I didn't put that together, and I was so confused when he popped up
because it was the same car and everything. Yeah, and
yeah, because when he drove away too, and it just kind of like I thought he was gonna run over people and do the whole thing, but he kind of just like. I don't know. That makes a lot more sense.
Well, you could also tell because when you heard the Vigoro playing in the car, that in the 2018 film, when you see him in the asylum, there's another.
I was going to say you see that guy. That patient
there's another patient singing Vigoro though, going Vigoro, and that's how you could kind of make that connection. But
gotcha.
There's a lot of it's weird, like it's ridiculous, but there's all these little weird things that if you notice from the 2018 and the 78 version, it's kind of fun to piece them together. But I did not like that second patient storyline. There was no purpose.
I didn't either. There was pointless. And then there was like the whole mob thing. And I got that, they were this is what Michael wants. He wants us to go
Evil
crazy.
But,
but like, did Michael, was that even like, I don't know, that wasn't even like a Michael thing. And then the whole like Judy Greer's character, like saving him, but then he just jumps out a window.
It was,
I mean, there's a lot of like window death related things, but like, it just, I don't know. It was, and it didn't even resolve. Like, it kind of just, he died. And then they were like, this is crazy. A man died. And they're like, well, we're trying to kill Michael.
Yeah, no, it was very unneeded. There was no unnecessary. There was no reason for it. I do think he actually passed away recently. So R.I.P. I don't know his name, but yeah. But yeah, that was a pointless storyline. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, just filler, man. Because so much was around that too.
This movie literally is a filler. Like, I don't mind the mob mentality. Like, I actually like it. I didn't like how they interpreted it. Like in Halloween 2 and the second one after the original, they had like a little mob. There was like, this is like kind of a relation to that, but it wasn't as like intense as this one. Like, it wasn't like evil dies tonight chanting.
I was gonna say it probably would be different if you had the like Paul Rudd Tommy versus the like, that Tommy was like so intimidating that the mob was evil dies tonight.
Right. And like, I just think it was way too much. Like, mob's fine because like I get it if Michael Myers is around and if you get if you just all try to go, kill him, fine. Like that makes kind of sense. Like, you don't want to hide. You want to just get everyone together and kill him. I get that. But it was way too much.
Yeah. Wait, can we talk about the ending? Because I'm so.
We can talk about the ending. There's other things, but we can jump around. So
okay, yeah. Because the ending, well, one, just with the mob, and then they like, she traps Michael, so they all show up. And one, I love that instead of just like trying to shoot him, they're like, let's just let everyone beat him and let Michael maybe kill some more people. Like, let's just see what happens, and then they all like beat him up. And assumingly, like, I thought, like, again, I didn't know there was a third one actually going into this yet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, oh my God, the end of Michael kind of thing, like these two movies. And then it's like, it's all wrapped up. And then out of nowhere at the end, it's just like, kill, kill, kill. And where I was thinking like, and then when he killed Judy Greer's character, I was still so confused because I was like, is this real or is this like imagine, like, is this some like trip thing that she's imagining what would have happened? So I was so lost. But then wait, is Michael known to like not really be human?
He's not like he's not, and he's pure evil, Jesse.
He's pure evil. Because I was like, wait, so he never dies?
You can't kill the boogeyman.
All right. Because I was like, it almost was kind of fun that like in my head, Michael Myers was just like a dude, who like did this stuff. But it's like, oh, now I feel just because I think it's because I am so like not into like Marvel and superhero right now that anytime I feel like any storyline goes from like real to like, even though this obviously isn't a superhero, but like anything where it's just like, oh, it's not it's not really a human.
Right.
I'm like, oh, what are we doing now?
And that's the good thing about the franchise, though. Each like timeline because it has its own like kind of route. Like the Paul Rudd timeline is like there's like a cult that like basically possessed him and like he's evil because of them. And like there's another one where I don't know. It's cool. Like it is fun to have that option. But yeah, I agree. I mean, part of the original, what makes the original so good is like it's just random. Like you don't know the backstory. He's just this guy who killed his sister, blah blah, which I think is creepy, genuinely creepy. But then again, I don't know. I go back and forth. I actually personally like. I didn't like the ending, but I loved it at the same time. I don't like how they executed it, but I loved how he killed everybody. I think, like clearly, I think the last movie is literally going to be just Laurie and Allison and Michael. I feel like that's going to be what's going to be because he literally killed everyone. Tommy, the sheriff. Although Lindsay's still alive, she didn't die. She'll be in the next one, but I don't know. I liked how he just killed everyone off at the end, but they could have done it a little better. Because I mean, when he stood up and all the people were just around him, I was like, this is like looks like a street fight. Like he looks like he's about to get in a street fight, which essentially it is. But
that's what I did. I guess there is a part of it saying how the whole movie felt so like filler and like almost unnecessary. I guess that the ending almost in a good and bad way felt like a big like fuck you to the whole movie. It kind of felt like the ending was like just to the whole movie was like, yeah, F that. Like, who cares about the movie?
It kind of feels purposely like done like that. Like,
well, that's what I mean. It's like a purposely like F you to like the whole movie you just watched.
Yeah.
And you're like,
actually, no, because they killed
what did I
everyone.
just watch?
Right.
That's what happens. And it happens in like 20 seconds.
Love it. It's so funny. Something I really like, I didn't really watch too many David Gordon Green movies. Like I saw a couple of them, and then when the new Halloween came out, I was like, oh, I don't know who this guy is really, and I started watching a lot of them, and I actually really like his movies. Something I like about his movies, it was more so in the 2018 versus this one, but like his dialogue, like it does sometimes it's really cheesy and like not great, but it feels real. Like it feels like real dialogue, which I like. Like I really like the raw aspect of his movies, like at least the 2018 and this one a little bit more, but no, 2018 has like perfectly done. Like
he wrote these.
Yeah, him and Danny McBride wrote these movies.
I was going to ask who the other, I was like, I always know his partner and I always forget his name.
Danny McBride.
Yeah, it's great.
Huge horror fans. I love it. But again, like, I do think like as much as how ridiculous this movie was, I think Danny McBride and David Gordon Green, they're such Halloween fans. I think it was just like, it was a movie for them, essentially, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm okay with. Like, it was fun to see these characters again, but I don't know. It's not my least favorite Halloween movie. It's in the middle for sure. Like it's one of, I think this is one of my favorite timelines. This might be, if not my favorite, just because 2018 was so good and the original is so good. I don't know. It's so weird. It's such a different.
I hope the next one wraps it up well.
They will. This is
because like
really like a filler movie. Yeah.
If they end it well, this could be the best. Because again, I loved the 2018 one, and so I feel like for me, there could be redemption in the third one, with just being like, and there's this middle one that you probably don't even need to watch.
Here's my thing with this movie is there's a couple of Halloween movies where I'm like, I could go without watching. Like I like to watch all of them, especially in October, just like as a franchise. I could watch this over and over just because it's fun. Like you don't have to like watch it. You can just throw it on and be like, oh yeah, Michael's about to kill Big John or Little John or like stuff like that. Let's get into that because they had so many weird side stories that made no sense at all. Like Big John, Little John. What was the purpose of that? First of all, obviously to show his old house, but there was no reason for that.
No
reason for that. They were fun. I like their characters, but they didn't need to be in the movie.
It was bizarre because you kept thinking like when the like trick-or-treaters came up, and was like they ate a razor blade in the candy.
They didn't need to be in it either.
And it was like so gruesome. And then like someone like ran in the house and you're like, oh, it's Mike, like something. And then it was just like the kid stealing the candy. And it felt like that every time it came back to them, you were like, is now the time that they're just going to die? Or, like what's going on? I think this movie tries to handle so many storylines, which is what the 2018 did really well was there was really only one or two storylines. There was like Laurie and then Allison essentially. And like I even Michael's, but yeah, this one has like so many different random stories. It doesn't really make sense. But fun fact about the little trick-or-treaters, the costumes they're wearing is from Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. And they're also in the 2018, they like run by Michael very early on, or I think it's just the camera. You see them trick-or-treating in the 2018. So they bring those kids back, which is kind of cool. Very cool.
References to the original and the third one as well. But and then Oscar's mom storyline, that didn't make any sense. We didn't need to see that. How the kid who got like hung on the fence and his mom was in it and she saw him and she screamed. There was no why was that in there? That should have been in the first one, if anything.
Yeah, I have no clue, man.
Like that there was no reason for that. And then I don't know. There was just a lot of those little plots where I was like, you could have just followed. I would have rather just seen Michael walk around killing people than this.
Yeah, I actually would have too. Because part of the, I mean, I haven't watched a lot, obviously like tons of these movies in this world, but I think of like Nightmare on Elm Street, like Jason Voorhees,
Freddy Krueger,
and like, and Halloween, and like Michael Myers as these like characters. And I kind of like for some reason, Michael Myers seems like the most fun, weird term, but
definitely
like scary, but still fun. Like we were talking about with the kills, like being more like slapsticky and like, it's scary, but it's still more like fun than like
right.
comedy-esque than the other ones. And I just wish almost there was more of like that with like the music. Like Halloween's got like the best music. Also,
Yeah.
just in general, I've been realizing this month it's just come up a lot with like even Goosebumps, or like it's just come up with a few other places I've seen talking about like music that's in like horror shows.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, it's actually like super interesting. I want to watch like a documentary just on like soundtracks and music for
Horror movies.
horror movies. Because I mean, you think Halloween, one of the best,
Dude, it's
like one of the best. And I just wish there was more of Michael following people with just like some of that soundtrack
I
behind it.
agree. 100% agree. Like in 2018, that tracking shot when he goes like in the garage, grabs the hammer, and it's like a one take
Yes.
essentially. That is
Yes.
what we want to watch. That is Halloween. Like that is epitome. And oh, it's so good. But yeah, you're right. The music is incredible. It's like, yeah, it's so good. I listen to Halloween all the time. It's just it's crazy. He wrote that in like a few minutes too. Like the original theme, he wrote it in like a couple minutes because it's so easy. It's like a
Wow.
couple keys,
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
but it's so cool. It's
like
amazing.
that's all. When it's hard, like, you know, because there's like a huge, you know, it's like whatever 10 to 15 minute opening before the opening credits. But so you're watching, you're like, what? And then you hear that music come on for the
Oh,
opening credits, and
so
it's
good.
even still not being a huge fan. I'm like, oh, here we go. Like,
I remember
it's such a
seeing
good.
when I saw 2018 in theaters, it was like because I saw Rob Zombie's in theaters, but those are the only two. I only saw Rob Zombie's Halloween. I never saw any other Halloweens because I was too young to see him in
Oh
theaters.
yeah.
And so I love the originals. I never got to see that in theaters. I ended up seeing it like in Portland when we were there. But yeah, when that in 2018, when that original music came on with the pumpkin, I was like, oh, I got goosebumps. I was like, oh my God, in the theater with all these Halloween fans. I was like, woo, is this real?
It's like how you'd have
goosebumps
like
right now.
you'd have like songs before you like played like any sports game like in Little League or something to get hyped up. You know, you're like, here we go. Like you had your soundtrack. I feel like that is like the equivalent of this movie where you're like, okay, here's the movie. Here we go.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and yeah, like the original is. I think the original is actually pretty still creepy. I think today it holds up. Like I was watching the other day, like in the middle of the night, lights off. I was like, this is awesome. Like this is great. It's still spooky. It's because like I don't know. There's something about Michael is like you were saying. He's fun. Like but he's terrifying because he's the boogeyman. Like he can just show up. Like somehow he gets from A to B. You don't know how he does it, but he's there, and it's great. You don't know where he is. And something that they do really well, I guess more in the 2018, not as much this one, that they did really good in the original as well, is, when they frame shots, like you don't know if he's in the background. Sometimes he might be, he might not be. And sometimes you'll just see something move in the background. That's him. Like I love these movies because of that, or like a reflection, or maybe he's not there. Maybe it's just a shot of a house, like a wide shot, and he could be there. He might not be there. You don't know. It's so good.
Real high anxiety. Like I was thinking when they're in the was it Lonnie and his son?
Oh
in
yeah.
the car, maybe at some point, just like in their truck, like planning or something. And I was thinking, like, why are you're just outside on the street in your car? He could just pop up. Like, what are you doing? And like a great shot of like when the kids on the playground, where she comes up, she's like, what are you guys doing out? And they're like, there's a guy in a white mask. He says he's gonna kill us. Ha ha. And they're like laughing. And she's like, you gotta go. And they're like, it's hilarious. And then just like that shot, like you're saying, where Michael's just super tiny in the background, and they start like, run, don't, just keep going. And I love the fact that he doesn't run.
I know. Well, he can. There is a couple like in the very beginning when he was, I guess he just walked fast. He does that. He picks and chooses when he walks, and he kind of, I don't want to say sprints, but walks faster, I guess. But
Power walking.
I do appreciate the power walk. And the actor James Jude Courtney, who plays Michael Myers, I met him at the convention. Super nice guy. He besides Nick Castle, he's probably,
shout out to Nick Castle.
He's probably in this too. Nick Castle's probably has a cameo at some point. I don't know. He's probably Michael Myers at some point. But other than Nick Castle, James Jude Courtney is my favorite Michael Myers. He captures it so well, like the walk and like how he like kills. It's like perfect to how the original one was. So I appreciate that. And he's great. And he's tall. I don't know. He's perfect for it. Yeah.
Killer Michael Myers. Should have been more of them.
They're really, for like a Michael Myers movie, it should have been more Michael Myers.
Yeah. Again, like you said, even with like Laurie and stuff, like it was a filler movie with all side characters. Like Michael was barely in it.
Wait, that's a really good way to describe this movie. It's a filler movie with all side characters.
It's a filler movie, and they were like, well, we don't want to use up anything about the main characters.
I do like Hawkins as a character. I like how they added him. I like Will Patton. I think that's his name, right? He's good. I have a feeling that they're gonna get together in the next movie, Laurie and Frank.
Oh,
They did talk about how they went on a date back in the day.
That would, I guess, make sense. But like, I have no clue what they're gonna.
I mean, there's really no
point.
point.
Third movie.
I have no idea either. Actually, I'm really genuinely curious. I just, as much as I want Laurie to kill him, I don't think they should kill him because you can't kill the boogeyman. You just can't kill.
Well, I was gonna say, how do you kill him?
You can't. I don't know. Old age.
Like,
I guess.
it made sense when he went into jail, but like,
yeah.
How do you? We're just suddenly he's gonna be able to die now.
I feel like Laurie's gonna end up killing herself with him. That's how I think it's gonna end.
Yeah, I assume so.
Even though I want her to
she
survive, but I don't think she will.
Yeah, but she mentioned a few times in this, like she was like, I have to die.
Right.
Like I'm the one who's keeping him going, kind of deal.
Oh, that brings me up to a point where I like this timeline because he's not her brother in this timeline, which is nice.
Oh,
because in 2018, because they don't reveal the sibling aspect until Halloween 2, and the 2018 takes place after the first Halloween. So technically, there's that piece of information hasn't been revealed. So in 2018, they like joke about it, and when they're walking to school, they're like, "Wasn't that her brother?" And then Allison says, "No, that's some myth that someone made up a long time ago or something."
Does your grandma ever talk about it? Yeah, it's pretty much all she talks about. It defines her life. She's been traumatized ever since.
Wasn't it her brother who, like, cold-blooded mutilated all those teenagers?
No, that's just a bit that some people made up to make him feel better, I think.
They debunked that in 2018. And then I like how he's just like, I think one of my favorite parts about Michael Myers is that he's just, there's like it's so random. Like he's not going for anybody. He'll just kill whoever, like wherever he is, he'll just kill. I like that aspect because it's creepier to me than just following, Laurie.
Yeah, that's true.
So I like that part about it. But
I don't know.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. And people like, I keep talking to people about this. I'm like, they're like, oh, like, what'd you think? Like, I'm like, I liked it, but I didn't like it at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it's super interesting because again, I was thinking I was going to come in here and be like, it wasn't made for me, but I assume for Halloween people, this was great. So I thought you'd just be like, oh my God, everything about the flashbacks, this storyline, like this was all great.
I mean, I did love that aspect, but if we're going from like a story wise / structural standpoint.
Do we know when the third is going to come out? Maybe
they're shooting soon and they're coming out next year. It's coming out next October.
Oh, okay. So
I'm going to try to work on it. That's my goal.
That would be cool, man.
This actually brings us to locations because it was shot in Wilmington, North Carolina. I'm sorry, not South Carolina.
Super
Wilmington,
cool.
North Carolina. The 2018 was shot in Charleston, but this one and then Halloween Ends will be shot in Wilmington. Yeah. So
super cool.
They do a really good job of making it look like Illinois, I will say.
Yeah, I would never assume this was Wilmington.
No,
for sure.
But, yeah, so that'll be interesting. I don't know. The next one they're shooting soon.
Like in the winter they're shooting?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh, cool.
I assume. Right. It's got that atmosphere, it doesn't snow there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll be cool.
So if you work on the set, reach out to Joe.
Oh yes, I would. Yeah, please. All of our 1 million listeners. John Carpenter, I know you're listening. David Gordon Green, I know you're listening.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be really funny, actually. Let's see. I think that was it for me, really. You want to rate it? Should we rate it?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about or no?
Let's see. What did I write down? I wrote down Thomas Mann.
Yep. There you go.
And Michael is in the back seat just because I really liked that. Just that section of the movie I thought was like great, whatever.
Comedy or talent show, whatever. That whole scene was just,
I was so confused. It was like a talent show,
but like,
and there was like a kid up there, but I was like, wait, so is this a school thing? And then just Tommy like went up, and then I was like, where is this? And it's like a bar.
Oh, I read something about that though. Actually, the owner, the bar, like the bartender, apparently, I think that was either David Gordon Green's friend. It was one of someone's friend who worked on the movie. They like owned a bar, and they just like, oh, you could be in the movie. So that was like one of their friends. I thought that was kind of fun.
They're like, hey, you have any random thing we can put in this movie? And they were like, I
Literally,
own a bar. And they were like, okay.
I mean, he was a good actor actually for not being an actor.
That's
But
true.
so random. And he had that bat with like his dad. I was like, why is this even here? I just want to see Michael Myers kill people. I don't.
It was like it's like if Halloween was done as a Mad Lib.
Wait, that's such a good way to put this movie. If Halloween does,
It's just like name a Halloween character, name like a way to die, name a place, and that's how they wrote the whole movie.
I really wish I would love if that was true. That would be so funny. Oh,
Maybe
that's a really good way to describe
Maybe
it.
we release the Mad Libs Halloween edition for people to fill out.
Yeah, that's this timeline. The Mad Libs.
The Mad Libs.
The Mad Libs time. That's what I'm gonna call it from now on.
Halloween Mad Libs, Halloween ends.
Halloween Mad Libs. That is hysterical. That's a very good way to put it. Oh, all right. Let's rate this bad boy.
Right.
I'll go first since I picked it. I mean, wrapping everything up. Let's see. That flashback scene is one of my favorite scenes in the whole franchise. I think the 70s flashback. I think that's one of my favorite scenes in the whole franchise.
Like when he accidentally shoots.
Yeah, I don't like. I don't like when he's like when Loomis is about to shoot Michael and then the guy Thomas Mann's character. I don't like that. That was dumb.
Yeah, I don't know.
Technically and visually speaking, like it looks and feels like the original movie. Like it looks perfectly. The grain, the coloring, it looks amazing. The mask, everything looks perfect. Love that. That was a huge part for me. The Loomis recreation was unbelievable, uncanny. Kills were great. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go 7 knives in the back from when he does that scene where he just tests out all the knives when he's stabbing that guy in the back. I love that scene. That was great. That's another thing about Michael is he like does funny stuff like when he puts the sheet over himself, like he's kind of funny, like he's trying to be like kind of funny, which is weird, but it works.
Yeah, it's a very strange.
Very strange. I love it though. And that's another scene where he's like, "Oh, does this knife work? Nope. Oh, does this one work? Nope." But yeah, I'm gonna go 7 knives in the back for me. And this one, I'm actually excited to add this to the Halloween franchise because I actually like this better than half of the Halloween movies. As like for a fun standpoint, like because a lot of the sequels, like the masks change so much and like they get like the budget gets even lower and it just looks bad. This one actually, it looks good. It's part of the original trilogy or the original timeline. I don't know. I just like the world, I think, better than a lot of the other ones.
All right. I'm going to go. I think, like you said, that I think why I do like this, and we kind of mentioned before, like with it being the most fun, is like there is some comedy aspect to Michael Myers.
Mm-hmm.
And like I meant to watch it before this week, but I'd sent you Netflix series, The Movies That Made Us.
Yes.
They came out with 3 episodes, one on Friday the 13th, one on Nightmare on Elm Street, and one on Halloween. And I started the Halloween one, and I didn't get that far into it, but it kind of was starting to say how it was this like whole different thing they were trying to do. And I don't believe there was any blood in the first one.
There's there's a little bit, but it's, dude, I bet the first one would be PG-13 nowadays.
Yeah, they were just saying how like it was like this new thing and how they weren't going to do like use blood or like something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this like comedy, like family comedy take on a horror. Like it just seemed like, oh, I should watch this whole episode about the original because it sounds really interesting. And it is different. There's like a comedy aspect to it.
I'll check that out.
It was all over. Yeah, we definitely gotta make sure to watch
We
that.
could review that. That'd be fun.
Well, we should watch that so that when Joe adds in his piece next week, maybe we can mention something about that episode.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
But I'm real torn. I'll go 6.
Hey,
6 pumpkins.
I'll take it.
Because there's still, again, it's like it's fun in that world, but it just, I mean, I don't think I have to say anything new. It's just so all over the place. It's the Mad Libs. It's the like, it starts, I'm confused, and then a bunch of stuff happens in the middle, and then by the end I'm like, wait, what happened? And then the final scene where he just gets up and kills like everyone, basically, I literally am just sitting there being like, what was the point of any of this? So I'm very excited for the next one.
Yeah.
But this one, I don't know, man. Speechless. Six pumpkins.
After I watched it the first time, I was like, middle of the road. I was like, I don't know. It was fine. It wasn't bad. It was a Halloween movie. And then I was actually excited watching it again. Like, I was like, oh wait, this is actually, because I watched it twice. Because I watched it in theaters when it came out, and then I watched it yesterday before, so we can kind of, remember everything. But I actually really enjoyed watching it a second time. It was like, because it's ridiculous, yeah, but it's like, I don't know, it's just a fun movie. Like, you don't have to pay attention or anything. So yeah. I don't know. I'll give it that. Like, it's a fun one. And I love the universe. I love David Gordon Green. I think I hope they end it. It's gonna be a big shoes to fill, is ending this trilogy. It'll be very interesting to see where they go with it. But I don't know. It's a Halloween movie. I don't.
And then time for a new Halloween take
eventually
after this one wraps up. So
someone would be like, I got a really good idea. It'll be sequel to the original, but 50 years later.
I want someone, once this ends, to remake just the middle of this, to like rewrite a middle movie, to be like, this was great, but I'm rewriting your middle episode or your middle.
That's actually really interesting to think about, like remakes and stuff, reboots. I wonder if anyone's ever just remade like a second or a third movie of a franchise. That would actually be interesting.
It'd be really interesting because you have a start and an end you have to get to.
Well, I guess technically 2018 is it's its own movie though. It's so hard to. Yeah. I will say, in all of the second Halloween movies, all of the number twos, Laurie's in the hospital. So like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 from 1980, 81, I think. She's in the hospital. This one, she's in the hospital. Halloween. No, I think that's it. Yeah, that's all. But I was like, all right, you keep that theme going. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad these exist, because seeing Michael Myers is always fun, especially on the big screen. And because I didn't have that opportunity as a kid seeing it.
Yeah.
It's nice to see.
Again, I did wish, I almost was like, I wish I had got to see this like opening night with Halloween fans in the theater, but
yeah. Nothing.
But maybe this is the one that deserves to be watched at home. So
maybe that's why Peacock's like, yeah, all right, you can do this.
They did. You got to pay $4.99 for premium to watch it.
I didn't know that. That was dope.
So they're not giving away quite for free, but for $5,
$5 for sure,
you can watch it.
Yep. But yep. I mean, that's how I mean, he's, I think, my favorite Michael Myers besides Nick Castle, and yeah, love it.
All right.
That's about it. You want to hit some movie news?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Do I have much? I mean, to mention, but the horrible news, the shooting at Rust.
Oh my gosh, that was
that. Not to get into, because there's still lots of coming out, but I was reading some things from Film Armorers, and seems like a real mess of a lot of things went wrong, and by went wrong I mean like things were disregarded. Safety was not, like there should have been 80 things that would have stopped this.
Right. Well, I was going to say film sets are usually like the safest, most, organized things.
Yeah. So hopefully, I don't know, something like this leads to more things so this never happens.
Yeah. I hope.
So sad.
It's yeah, man, it's crazy. And then it brings up the past. I don't know if you know too much about past movies that this has happened on too. But it brings
I just know the Bruce Lee's.
Oh yeah, Brandon
Lee
that
was
like
a famous.
Yeah, man. I don't know how that stuff happens. Do you think they go through so many like checks and they test everything out, and it's crazy how that happens.
Yeah, I mean, and again, because stuff's coming out every day and there's an investigation and everything, but there was like a walkout like on that movie for the crew walked out because they felt it was unsafe. The production, like 2 days before this happened or something.
Wait, that was before
this had happened. There was a walkout.
Whoa, no
So
way.
there's a lot of a mess like that was going on, and like some, there's a really good post can send you. A film armorer kind of wrote kind of like how they go through things and how it was like horrifying that he's talking to other film armorers and they just have no clue how this could happen, and like which means like the mistakes probably had to be so like unfathomably huge and many. But
that's
not
crazy.
Fun movie news.
Yeah, that's insane though. But I feel like it's important to kind of hear that because, like, I mean, hopefully that opened people's eyes to, for working on safe sets.
Yeah. I mean, you hope with anything horrible that it at least leads to it not happening.
Now, I know the director was hospitalized. Is he okay, or did he end up dying?
The director was released from the hospital.
Oh, good.
Director of photography was the one who died.
Yeah, she was the one who got. Yeah, that's crazy. My question is like, what was the shot? I wonder if it was like a pointing at the camera. Because like, how would that happen? Like, crazy.
Yeah. I mean, again, yeah, I have no clue. But like this
armor,
armor,
they filming? Like, was it recorded?
Yeah, I have no clue. But
yeah, I feel so bad for Alec Baldwin. Like, I feel really bad for him.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it sucks.
So everything about this, like,
it's not good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like speechless.
Yeah, like, did that actually just happen? I thought it was kind of fake. When I saw, I think it was on Twitter, it was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what? Like, what?
Yeah, it was before I went to bed. My brother texted me actually and was like, what? Like, this happened? What the fuck? Like,
yeah, is this real?
And then, yeah. But I think somebody, maybe not to get into this, never mind. There's a bunch of like rumors and stuff I've heard.
I can cut this too.
Of like, I mean, there's even rumors. I just don't want to get into the train of like,
yeah.
This random person I heard said this.
Right.
But that like it's so production so heavy right now that was it Arizona or New Mexico?
I think it was
they were shooting. But like there's so much production. Like Netflix has like 15 productions down there now or something. So like crews. You can't get crews down there because there's just so much in production again.
And they just found random people, essentially.
Well, I think the person was saying that along because there was like the walkout, and then maybe people left, and then they got not unionized people, which doesn't necessarily mean they're bad, but it's just this whole line of a lot of people.
That's crazy. That is insane. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some good news.
You have good news?
I mean, not really. There's not too much movie news going on. The Chucky series started. I haven't watched it yet. It's like the first or second episode, I think, are out. It's on Sci-Fi, so I don't know.
There's a new Chucky series.
TV series, yeah. And the guy who played Chucky is playing him again, so that's kind of nice. Brad Dourif.
The doll.
Yes.
There's a guy who plays the doll.
Well, the voice.
Oh, okay.
Although I will
this
say,
was like a live action Chucky.
In Child's Play, the first one, there is a little kid playing Chucky, and there's a scene where Chucky runs. You can see him running. It's a little kid, and it's actually creepy looking because it's a little baby, like a little toddler, wearing a Chucky outfit, and it's like, oh, this is kind of insane.
It's real terrifying.
Yeah, it's actually terrifying.
Oh, that's a live action Chucky.
I think for me, it's like. Something that always spooks me is like, I love ventriloquist dummies. I love like movies like that, like creepy movies when there's like split personality or something. I love it. But there's a movie called, what is it called? Something like the 60s, I think. And it's about this guy with a ventriloquist dummy. But something that always spooks me is when you can like physically see the dummy moving when it's like a human in the outfit or something. And in this movie, the guy, it's like a black and white movie. It's like, it looks kind of creepy already. They're on stage and the doll, literally it's a person, but like it stands up and it walks towards like the stage. And it's so creepy. I don't know why that weirds me out so much. I think it's like a walking doll. I don't know. It freaks me out.
Yeah, there's something really There's something weird about dolls. Just
Yeah.
like old haunted, like the antique dolls.
Totally.
Not about it.
And then let's see what else there was. There was another one.
Home Alone.
Oh yeah.
We talked about it last time, but
Did
that's
that
like
come
all I
out
can
soon?
think about. I think it's around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I think.
Oh, the new Batman trailer came out. There's another one.
Which one's this?
The Robert Pattinson one.
I totally forgot that was a thing.
And Paul Dano is playing the Riddler. It looks so good. I'm really excited for it.
All right.
It's like a noir detective film, apparently. So apparently he's gonna be like narrating a lot of it, kind of like a detective, and like
it could
I'm pretty
cool.
excited about it. It looks pretty sweet. And Jeffrey Wright is playing Commissioner Gordon, and he's so good. And Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman. It's gonna be good. And Colin Farrell's the Penguin. A lot of good
good
actors and characters. I'm very excited for it. Yeah. So that comes out next March or next year sometime.
Oh, okay, so a little bit, but
yeah,
I'm all for it.
Looks pretty sick. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much more. I mean, we've just been watching Halloween movies and shows and
yeah, this is like the last Halloween episode.
Sad.
True. Moving on to thanks. It's Thanksgiving a month of movies.
We'll figure something out.
And then Christmas movies, I guess. I don't know.
That'll be good. Yeah, that'll be a good one. There's a lot of those.
Some classics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the fall seasons of everything, like TV shows coming back, but
right.
You know, like SNL, Succession, my favorite.
Oh, right. Yep.
Started so great. Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David
still on
Sunday, 11th season they're doing.
Wow. Trying to catch Us Always Sunny.
When does that come out?
I don't know. Hopefully soon. They just wrapped, and I assume it can't take long to edit those episodes. But
yeah, every time I open up Hulu, I like Always Sunny pops up because I've watched it, and I always like go to check to be like, is the new season out by chance?
Yeah. Oh, was that a wrap?
I think that's a wrap.
First time doing it, just two of us. Worked out. Evil dies tonight.